Okay, we're live. Here we go. Testing, testing. Today on Quality Time with Family Ties, we learn, frankly, my dear, Family Ties doesn't give a damn.
In 3, 2, 1. Hey everyone, welcome to Quality Time with Family Ties. I am one of your hosts, Scott Jones. Joining me as always, Mr. Paul Packler. Paul, how's it going?
I do declare I have never been so good.
Lordy, you're so happy you're giving me the vapors. Cora, sir, how are you?
I'm fine. Thanks for asking.
You look fresh as a daisy.
I'm sipping my mint julep right now.
Oh. We really should do the whole episode like this.
The episode's bad enough without us adding to the misery.
Yeah, listen that onto the racism on top of all of this. Well, guys, if you're playing along with us, we are on Season 2, Episode 17, Double Date. And we're going to kind of jump into a very, I don't know, I feel like we've seen this a lot in 80s movies of a guy has a double date, and how is he going to manage going out at the same time with two girls?
So the answer to that question that they came up with was we use Skippy a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Skippy's the buffer.
The solution was we're going to use Skippy a lot. And I always think Skippy in small doses works way better than using Skippy a lot.
Yeah.
How good
Unlike Skippy peanut butter, which you want to use liberally,
Yes.
Skippy the person you want to use as sparingly as possible.
Right. Skippy peanut butter, you just want to spread that shit on, give it 2 layers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, we start off, once again, Family Ties getting a ton of money for sets this year in the school gymnasium. And
They would use it for 4 scenes in the show.
Well, they got to get.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they got to get their money's worth. And they're decorating for the prom. And I'm just going to say it, okay? I'm going to try to say this with a straight face. They are decorating the prom to look like a Civil War Southern plantation because the theme is Gone with the Wind.
I mean, what else can you say? Or what the fuck? What the fuck were they thinking?
What the heck? I'm just going to put it to this, guys. I grew up in the South. I was witness to many, many racist things. This is pretty up there.
Anytime you mention the word plantation,
Yeah,
there's racism involved with that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
A plantation is a farm that had 20 or more slaves. That is what a plantation means.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. And it's not like the theme of the prom has anything to do with the crux of this story. It's not like they choose this horrible theme and then students have an uproar about it. No, it's just there, which means at some point in the writer's room, they toss this idea around.
That's right, where somebody should have said, "You sure we shouldn't make it Emerald City? Let's make it Emerald City and go for Wizard of Oz."
Yeah, let's do Island Nights by the beach. Yeah, that'll be a good thing. Hey guys, how about Southern Plantation?
And everybody goes, "Yeah, that's it."
To be fair, I just want to throw this out there. When was the Dukes of Hazzard finally off the air? Because the General Lee had the Confederate flag on the top.
Yep. I'm guessing it's probably. I mean, I'm not sure what. Dukes of Hazzard is around this time. It's probably off the air soon, if not by this point.
Yeah, but I mean, there were other shows that had the Confederate flag. I mean, it's just crazy.
Yeah, it wasn't talked to. I mean, Georgia did not get rid of the Confederate flag until 2003. Right. And I remember growing up, that was always an issue, a voting issue, every single year of changing the flag.
And obviously everything that happened this summer with South Carolina. And that's fine as far as the retrograde politics of southern states and all that kind of stuff. However, putting it on TV is so weird.
It's so weird. It was so weird.
On TV through 85, so it was on while this was on.
Wow.
Okay. Wow.
And so, yeah,
Well,
Alex is like, this is such a great, he's like talking with Skippy, he's like, this is such great decorating idea. We're going to have the magnolia trees over there. This is going to be the Mason-Dixon line. And he's just like, oh, you're
this is horrible. This is so horrible.
Yeah.
Oh. And it keeps getting harped on throughout this whole entire episode, too.
Yeah.
Like, all right, so we get to the plot of our of the episode. One of the girls that is working on the prom committee with Alex, Rachel, comes over to Alex and really hints at, I would love for you to ask me out to prom. Alex, on the other hand, is interested in this girl, Jocelyn. There's a very, Paul, you might agree with this, a very Teen Wolf kind of dynamic going on here.
It's very Teen Wolfian, this plot dynamic. This episode is crazy in the way that it has both like echoes of Back to the Future and Teen Wolf. There's I don't know why it is, because it predates both of those movies, but it's just like, it's so weird that all of these sort of plot tropes were in the ether of 1980s and circling around Michael J. Fox. It's very odd.
Yeah. Yeah. So we find
Rachel is played by Daphne, something with a Z.
Oh, Daphne's Zunga. She was in Spaceballs.
Yeah, Princess Vespa in Spaceballs. Corey, do you know?
Zuniga is her name, and she was Princess in Spaceballs, but her big starring movie was Rob Reiner's first feature film with opposite John Cusack called The Sure Thing.
Oh.
Where they went on a road trip across, they were in college together, and they went on a road trip for him to visit his girlfriend and her to visit her boyfriend, and of course they end up falling in love.
That's right.
Very cute movie, and she's adorable in it. And of course, what they had to do in this to have her play opposite Jocelyn Clark, who we'll talk about in a moment, was they had a pair of glasses on her and nerd up a very cute girl. Very cute.
Yeah, they had to make her.
I had a big crush on her in Spaceballs. I always thought she was very cute.
Very cute.
And the Sure Thing, is that sort of like the same plot as It Happened One Night? Like they hate each other, then they like each other over the course of the road trip?
Pretty much for teenagers.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she has to be kind of moused up, and then we see the contrast because Jocelyn enters the room, which was the weirdest entrance I've ever seen. The moment she walks in the room, 3 guys like lunge at her.
Yeah.
It's the most disturbing.
The hot girl at school.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and
that's what they were.
She's very hot. But I mean, they're both really hot.
Yeah, they are. They're both very, very cute. But it just took me back, like all these three guys just zoom in on her, gang up on her. It's horrible. It's a little jarring.
It's actually, it reminds me of, and there's a reference to it later in the show where they make a reference to the swimming pool under the gym floor, which was the big thing in It's a Wonderful Life.
I read that It's a Wonderful Life.
There you go. And so, introducing this girl, there's a moment in It's a Wonderful Life where the same type of girl, the hot girl in town, Violet Bick, she's standing around on a street corner with these 2 guys who are like chatting her up, and then she sees George Bailey and she's like, oh, and she goes over and talks to George. But then one of the 2 guys goes, we'll wait for you, baby. And it's just like, are the 2 of you gonna date this girl together? What's going on?
Yeah, you're including this guy like now, I'll wait for you, baby, but we'll wait for you.
Me and Skinny Pete are gonna be here whether or not, you know.
So Alex goes over to talk to Jocelyn. He gets up the courage to ask her out, and we already find out Jocelyn rejects him because she's going to the prom with this guy Brad, who we'll never see. But she's got a date. She doesn't think she like with Teen Wolf. She's the snobby popular girl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Alex is rejected. He still has no date for prom. And then we cut to the kitchen, and Jennifer comes in. Again, how many school projects are they going to give Jennifer? Every time we see her, she's got some little project at school. That's all they can give her. But she has a poem that the teacher read at school that she wants to read to the family, and it's all about nuclear war.
Yeah. It is what it is.
Yeah, there's not much more you can say out of that. But Rachel comes over to talk over some more plans about prom, and to listen to some mixtapes of bands that they might get for the dance. There's a big pun with the names of the bands. One of them is called Bloody Awful. So of course, when they're listening to it, it's like, oh, she's like, oh, this is Bloody Awful. No, I think it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the jokes' name is Mile Away, which is how far you saw that joke coming from.
And one's named Liver Cancer, which
liver damage. Liver damage.
Liver damage. Liver damage. To which Mallory's like, I wish I could get liver damage. That could be arranged, Mallory.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty cheap, but it ends up Rachel and Alex start kind of dancing to test out the music, and Alex asks her out.
It was very cute. The music was the best elevator music you've ever heard.
Mm-hmm. It was brilliant. Lovely.
Yeah, and so that's where the joke, the Bloody Awful thing, comes from. But it's just funny to me that he says to her, let's see if this stuff is danceable or not. And it's just like, you just listen to it. Does it have a beat?
You don't have to dance to it. It's not like a car you test drive.
Right.
What was funny... What was funny to me was all the names of these bands sound like 80s punk bands, like bands that you would not play at a prom at all, but yet they have this nice, soothing music to
It's like that joke in Spinal Tap where what's his name's playing on the piano. He's like, oh, what's that song called? And he's like, Lick My Love Pump.
Exactly. And then we go back to the gym, and Alex tells Skippy that he's asked Rachel out. He's excited about it. But Jocelyn comes in saying that she broke up with Brad and now needs a date and is wondering if Alex will take her. And, of course, Alex is smitten and says yes. So now he has 2 dates.
Corey, I feel like you might have had this situation happen to you. Has this ever happened to you?
Yes.
I struck gold.
Really, Corey? Please tell me.
I was doing stand-up at the Improv in New York, and 2 women who I was having relations with both decided they would come because my parents were visiting from California. So my mom and dad were there to watch me perform, and both girls showed up at the Improv, and I had to sort of kind of keep them apart from each other. And I remember my father saying to me, are you nervous tonight? Because he came out, I was at the bar waiting to do my set, and he said, are you nervous because we're here? And I said, I got to be honest with you. I'm not nervous because you're here. I'm nervous because I'm sleeping with 2 different women, and they both decided to show up to meet you guys tonight. I'm panicked. They're going to see each other, know each other. This is my... And my father just looked at me silently and he went, God, what I would give to be in your shoes.
Oh, my God, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, Corey, how did you deal with that? I mean, Alex comes up with a whole entire plan. How did you navigate that?
Corey actually got Mark Price to go up and help him
There we go.
I did my set and made the excuse to both of them individually that my parents weren't feeling well and I had to take care of them.
Wow. Good job.
Hey, good job, yeah.
And it didn't blow up in my face. It was fine.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
That is amazing. All right, so now Alex is in a predicament. He's got 2 dates. He's not as smooth as Corey. All right? He's got to figure out how to do this. So we go to the kitchen where he has a whole diagram laid out.
He's got like the X's and O's, like it's a football sideline with Skippy.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
And it's very Back to the Future.
It is.
Planning this thing out. He's got the geeky sidekick, and it's even stranger in the fact that that Skippy mispronounces the word destiny.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck is going on? What's that?
What does he say instead of destiny?
Dentistry.
Dentistry.
Yeah. So odd.
Yeah. I wrote that down. I was like, destiny keeps coming up. Yeah. Yeah. And then
I just felt as though they needed to joke up the scene more, and they thought that was the joke they would go with.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And of course, yeah, they talk about Alex tells him here's where the electrical box is. Should an emergency happen, you can pull the switch, and it'll open the floor over the swimming pool. Like you, Paul, I wrote down It's a Wonderful Life.
Totally.
Yep. And so, we should mention that Skippy is wearing a very flowery pink tuxedo.
Mm-hmm.
Which that kind of seems to be the staple for all nerds going to prom. They wear a very old school tuxedo that's usually either like baby blue or pink.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. And so they have this plan down. Basically, Alex has arranged to have the gymnasium is broken down into Section A and Sector B. So Rachel's going to Skippy's trying to keep Rachel in Sector A and Jocelyn in Sector B, so he can go jump back and forth.
And there's like a color issue where one's wearing something and the other is wearing blue, and he's going to change corsages.
Boutonniere,
Blue boutonniere and the pink boutonniere.
Right.
Yeah, and is that I was wondering, like, why does he need to do that? Is it because these are the corsages the girls have bought him, so he has to wear them? Because if he's buying them,
corsage that matches your date's dress and her
Oh,
flowers.
okay. Got it. Yeah, that's right, because at one point Rachel gives him a swash of her dress that she is making, which wasn't that cute. The nerdy girl making her own dress at home. Yeah. It was cute.
It was a very complex dress when we finally saw it.
It was very, very much so.
All the armholes were in the right spots. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It was adorable. All right, and so we get ready for the big dance.
And so when the shot opens, there is a black couple dancing, and I immediately thought they would be so uncomfortable at the place at the dance where on stage right's wall there is a huge Dixie flag.
Yeah. It was almost that they were put in the forefront of that shot for the producers to say, see, it's cool. See?
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
okay.
Nobody minds. It's not a problem.
No, it's fine. I wrote on the page, holy shit, I can't believe I'm watching this.
Totally.
Yeah, and it was weird because the gymnasium itself doesn't look like a plantation. It just has like Civil War memorabilia around a little bit. Like it doesn't look like a plantation per se. It just has like, there was one like thing on the wall where it looked like a carriage being like a shadow of a carriage. There was weird like statue banisters kind of hanging. It didn't look like a plantation, thankfully. It just had like Southern stuff around it.
Yeah, it had a mannequin dressed up as General Lee. You know, nothing gets teenagers hotter than that.
Right. And so, we also find out Stephen and Elise are chaperoning, but we never. Yeah, we just see
there's
them
like a
dancing
nice
at the beginning.
bit of business where it's Stephen and Elise are dancing in the center of the shot, and then they're talking back and forth, and then Alex comes in the foreground with one girl across the screen, and then back with the other girl, and then back and forth, back and forth.
Right. And so to start off, after the dancing, he's with Rachel, and they're talking about what a success the prom is. You know, they can't believe they put it together. She says it's just like the glory of the old South. Which is like, oh God, I kept cringing. Just growing up and having to go to all these field trips of Southern stuff, it made me cringe.
Yeah.
And then opposed to that, when he's over with Jocelyn hates the theme.
Well, I mean, that's good for her. Even though she was a jerk to him earlier, at least she has good taste with regard to politics.
It's like, this is horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's when we see in the background that there's a giant Confederate flag hanging around the punch bowl.
Yeah, yeah. And you would think Stephen and Elise would have had something to say about this.
Yeah. Even in 1984, someone would have said something. Like, yeah, you're right, Paul. Like, the black students there would have been so uncomfortable with all of this.
Yeah, yeah. These are two people who were around for the 60s, the Civil Rights Movement, and the Vietnam Movement.
But
So,
they're going to stand there in southern plantation.
right.
Right. They're okay with that. They're cool with that. Yeah. And so, yeah. But there's a lot of, so there's this bit of just Alex jumping back and forth between Jocelyn and Rachel. And then the principal of the school takes the stand, wants to give a presentation to Alex because he put this all together, the theme of Sunset at Terra.
All right, now let's slow down for a second. Let's take a pause.
Okay.
At this celebration of fascist apartheid totalitarianism, who shows up? This is the first time we've seen him, but Principal Dr. Schulte.
That's right. The evil Dr. Schulte.
Yes.
For you listeners, you remember Dr. Schulte was oppressing articles in the student newspaper.
Yes, the Nixonian principal who shut down the free press.
And is very happy about the theme Sunset at Terra.
Yes.
He congratulates Alex, but Alex is busted now because Dr. Schulte says, "Hey, let's let you have the last dance with your date." To which both Rachel and Jocelyn step forward, and Alex is busted and faints.
Now, that was one of the strangest act-outs I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Alex faints.
Alex faints. Yeah. It's just weird. And so Alex is busted, faints, and we jump to later that night, or later that evening. Alex is with both his days trying to explain what had happened.
And they're both sufficiently pissed off at him, and appropriately so.
Right. It's a shitty thing to do.
And unless it's Corey, in which case I think it's fantastic.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Well, Corey was smart enough to, get out of that situation. That's what Alex should have done. Said at least wasn't feeling well.
I got to go home and take care of her.
Yeah, you get out of there. That's what happens when you leave things in the hands of Skippy. It's gonna blow up in your face.
Indeed.
Jocelyn walks out, and we're left with Rachel there. The one, and Alex kind of confesses to her that she was the one he really wanted to be with. He was having a really good time with her, and he thought that he was wanting to be with Jocelyn, but it turns out that it was her. Very 80s teenage romantic comedy.
Mm-hmm.
And so, of course, Rachel's pissed and doesn't want to have anything to do with him. And Alex makes a statement. It's like, look, we've been having a great time together so far. Why should we let one little stupid thing that I did stop us from that? And she kind of gradually forgives him. Again, this scene went on forever.
It really did. Like, it was just like, apologize.
Yeah.
I have the word long written down here in capital letters.
Yeah, I did too.
I did too. Very long.
Yeah, I started ironing my laundry at that point. I was just like, something good has to come out of this episode, and it's a pressed shirt.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's pretty much the episode. Like, this one's just so predictable. It's a plot that we've seen so many times.
And that's the thing that made me really laugh. Not in the way they intended, but it was the thing of when Alex, when it's like, uh-oh, so who's he going to pick? And the two girls are there, and everyone's looking. There were people in the audience who gasped. They were like, I can't believe this!
What a surprise.
Yeah!
Audiences in the 1980s were the dumbest people ever, apparently.
Wait, he went with the nerdy girl?
Yeah.
Oh, he's got such deep character.
He only went with the nerdy girl because the smart girl walked out on him, busting him.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's funny that this is, senior prom, springtime of senior year. Who gives a shit? Like, why do they even have to? Like, she's like, you know what? I'm going to college in 6 months. I don't need your stupid ass, Alex.
Yeah. Yeah, you're just gonna have at best have a summer fling and then it's over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost a competent episode. It's not very interesting, and it's definitely not funny. But compared to other season 2 episodes, this one was not bad.
I agree. At least it has some mechanics going on. It has some fodder for comedy. But yeah, it's just a little too predictable.
Yeah, if this were the worst of season 2, it would be a lot better.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
You're right. This is pretty much middle of the road for season 2.
Yeah. Which again, I'll take right now. Last 2 episodes, we've been doing okay. But we still got a little ways to go. Do you guys even remember your prom theme?
No.
I don't either.
Never went to a prom.
You didn't go to a prom, Corey?
Never.
Shocking.
No, I was always working. I usually left school sometime around mid-June or something and started doing theater somewhere. So I would usually miss the last couple of weeks of school, so I wasn't around.
Oh, wow.
So I never went to a junior prom, senior prom, or a college prom. Never.
Wow. I didn't even know they did. I didn't even know they did college proms.
Do they? I assumed they did. I just...
You just made it up.
I just made it up. Now they will. Look at this trend I'm going to start.
Well, gentlemen, I think we wrapped it up.
Another one for the memory banks.
Another one for the memory banks.
I have no idea what that means.
You got a memory, and you put it in your memory bank.
Yeah, you want to accrue interest on that memory.
Yeah. You get a 0.05% interest.
Exactly. Just sounds dirty.
All right, well, take us home, Scott. Let's get the hell out of here.
All right. For questions and comments, please write us at qualitytimewithfamilyties@gmail.com, and be sure to follow us at Qtwft. Each of us is also on Twitter. I'm at Follow Jones.
I'm at Paul Packler.
I'm at Corpep.
And be sure to like our Facebook page. We like to thank our host and producer, Barbara Dillon at Fanboy Comics. Fanboy Comics is an online conglomerate of geek media providing its readers with daily reviews and insights that span the pop culture spectrum. We also like to thank Perry Adams, who beautifully performs the theme song Without Us. Be sure to check out Perry's music at perryadams.com. We like to thank Brian Dillon, the president of Fanboy Comics and co-founder, for doing our artwork as well as editing our show. Be sure to check him out on Twitter at Comic Book Slayer. And lastly, Sean Foster, Fanboy Comics graphic designer, for designing our logo. Thank you, y'all, and we'll see you next week.
Come back now, do you hear?